Hello, I'm Matteo, the Chief Mobile Opinionist at the Tech Travel Geeks, and this is the Tech Travel Geeks comparison between the Nokia 1.3 and the Doogee X95, both devices priced under £80 in the UK. If you don't already, please do subscribe to the Tech Travel Geeks here on YouTube. Right then, we've done some extensive coverage on the Nokia 1.3 in the past. Check out the videos of the Nokia 1.3, including the full review, which will be linked to in the description. And we've recently unboxed and are starting a review of the Doogee X95. Both devices are sold for approximately the same price in the UK, both on Amazon and from other retailers. But what's the difference? What makes you want a Nokia or a Doogee more? Well, these are two very different devices, despite being similar on paper. So the Nokia 1.3, as we saw, is a relatively compact, and just unlock this, relatively compact Android Go edition. It's the pure Android Go, the way Google wants it to be. It has a nice 5.7 or just over 5.7 inch display. It's 720 by 1520 pixels. It, as we said, has a decent screen, but it's running Android Go, which gives you the cut down version of apps from Google, as well as encouraging you to use the light apps from Facebook. So overall, it is an entry-level smartphone, but has the trade-offs you'd expect. The good news is that the Nokia 1.3 is a almost pure Google experience phone and gets relatively fast security updates and operating system updates from Nokia and Google, whereas the Doogee X95 is quite a different beast. It is a significantly bigger and brighter screen. Let me turn both up to the same brightness. You can see the Doogee X95 is definitely a brighter device. It's slightly slimmer to hold, but it has a nice big display. And when I say big display, it means that this is a 6.5 inch display. So it's a proper phablet. It's the same resolution as the Nokia 1.3, but it's nice and big, which, especially if you're watching video, whether it's YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, or any other service, really does make a difference. Now, there's no Fingerprint Reader on either device, so you need to use a pattern or an unlock code to get into things. Both of them have the Google Play Store. They're both Google Play certified devices. The key difference is that the Android Go version of Android that's on here is a bit more limited and not as pretty, whereas on the Doogee it is a more common experience with proper application swapping with the full version of YouTube and other apps. It's I'd say more of a full smartphone experience. Another interesting feature that the devices have is the cameras. Whereas Nokia went really minimal, so you have a main camera on the back, which is an 8 megapixel sensor, and a selfie camera, which is a 5 megapixel sensor in the water drop notch. Apparently, and I still haven't done the full test of all the cameras, but I have played around with them a bit, on the Doogee X95 you have a triple camera setup. So you have 3 cameras. And the main one is a 13 megapixel one. I would say it is much better camera than the camera on the Nokia 1.3. It records 720p video, both of the devices do. And the selfie camera on the Doogee is also, in this case, a 5 megapixel one. So overall, they look very similar on paper, but it's a very different user experience. The cameras are different. And I have to say, the battery life on the Doogee is a lot better. Now, the Doogee has a splash screen that says that it's Android Go, but in reality it isn't, as we've seen. What is also significant is that the Doogee overall experience is better. It seems to be snappier. Now that's probably because of the chipsets on the inside. The Doogee is running a MediaTek chipset, whereas the Nokia is running a Snapdragon 2 series chipset, which is a very low-end Qualcomm chip. So overall, at this point in time, in July 2020, the two devices are on sale at the same time. But I have to say, the overall experience in terms of software and hardware, the Doogee delivers a lot more. The Nokia currently is an inferior device and it is a much lesser user experience, but you do have a certain amount of certainty that you will get software updates going forward from Nokia that will keep your device patched. Now, operating system patches are all very well, but the majority of security issues comes from apps and the services, the Google services and other services on your smartphone, which can be updated from the Google Play Store. Now, both of the devices have the Google Play Store, so both of these, as long as you keep the Play Store and your apps updated, are much safer than smartphones would have been in previous years. So I definitely have to say, value for money at this point in time, if you're looking for a smartphone to do more than just the few basic calls and texts and very basic app usage, the Doogee is a better buy in this price category. Obviously, you may have a reason. You may say, well, I don't want to be using my smartphone very much. I want something more compact to go in my pocket. The Nokia 1.3 might be for you. But if you're looking to spend less than £100 and definitely less than £80 and get one of these two smartphones, I would recommend the Doogee X95. One other thing, obviously, both these devices are really low price, and one of the trade-offs in making smartphones is that they need to try and cut corners wherever they can to keep that price down. Both of them use micro USB. Both of them have expandable storage with micro SD cards, and that's about it. If you're looking for decent smartphones under the £100 mark, these are two to consider, but I would definitely say if you're choosing between the two, the Doogee X95 is the one to go for. Overall, it's a much better experience, and as I said, if you make sure the Google Play Store and your apps are updated, the Doogee is almost as safe as the Nokia 1.3. Right then, so that's our quick overview of the differences and similarities, or the comparison between the Nokia 1.3 and the Doogee X95. If you have any further questions, or you would like to leave us some feedback, leave us a comment below. If you like this video, drop us a like, and if you don't already, please do subscribe to the Tech Travel Geeks here on YouTube. For now, we're going to sign off. Expect more content on the Doogee X95 coming in the following weeks. But for now, thanks for watching and goodbye.